Good morning. It's day 13. 13's my lucky number, and I feel like today is my lucky day. And that's because we're here in Mills Canyon, New Mexico, which is a place that I've always wanted to come to but have never had a chance to. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's on the Canadian River, and one of the things that's really cool about that is the fact that I pretty much followed the Canadian River up almost from Arkansas. I crossed it a couple times in Oklahoma, around Oklahoma City. Lake Meredith was an impoundment on the Canadian River, and now I'm up towards the headwaters of it, which is really cool. What has frosted this cake, you might say, is the fact that I thought that the Canadian River was more of an intermittent seasonal stream up here. And it appears as though it does have pockets to keep water all year, because I walked down there last night and there were definitely some brim and either bass or trout. I couldn't tell what the other larger fish was, but it got me all excited. And I can't wait to get out there, catch some fish, and have a good lunch here. I think I'm going to stay all day and another night here, because it looks like there's a lot of cool stuff to explore. I could do some hiking. I'm ahead of schedule on my mileage, and I'm sick of being in the truck, so gonna spend the day here. I did some calculations last night, and what I've decided I need to do is reconfigure my payment plan. The way I've been doing it is giving myself $25 each day, and that worked up until now, which, as I'm sure you can recall, I spent up until day 15. It's money. I think that I need to separate my gas funds, because it's taking something out of the trip for me, constantly worrying about gas, whether I'm going to have enough to make it to the next spot or not. And so I'm going to take out, instead of giving myself $25 each day, I'm going to take the remainder at day 15, which is 2 days from now, which will be $375, and I'm going to put $315 as gas money for the rest of the trip, and then take $60 and keep that for other expenses, mainly fishing licenses. I'm doing it that way because out west things are on a much more grandiose scale. And if you've ever been out west, you understand. If you haven't, it's kind of hard to explain, but there are stretches where you can go 80, 100. The way I'm doing it, missing large towns mainly, you could go a couple 100 miles without finding a gas station. And it's really kind of a safety factor, especially since I'm by myself, that I always want to be able to have gas in the tank, to be able to move, to be able to get away from something if I need to. So I calculated out my trip mileage last night, and I know that we're somewhere around 2,800 miles to this point. And so I sat down, because when I originally planned this trip, I calculated 4,000 miles for the whole trip. That was a severe miscalculation, because from here on, it looks like it's about 2,400 miles to Washington, to the coast in Washington. And so that's going to put the overall trip total about 5,200 or so, which is, about 1,200 more miles than I had planned on. So that takes its hit on the budget. I guess all this driving in circles and stuff has taken its toll on me. And I'm excited to catch some fish out of this river, man. It looks like virgin territory. I mean, there's no trash here. The campground is brand new. It's almost like being in the absolute middle of the wilderness, but I get to be here where there's a truck, and there's actually a bathroom here as well. No running water, but a bathroom nonetheless. So, with that being said, let's let's get ready for assault on the fish. There we go. A little bit of perch action. They may not be huge, but the rush when they strike's about the same. And boy, are they pretty. Well, if I keep doing this well, I've already got a pretty decent lunch. I think what I might do today, though, is really intensely fish and try to get up a reserve. Actually get some ice tomorrow and put them in reserve, because from here on for the next few days, it's going to be trout. And don't get me wrong, I love a delicious trout. But a couple of the spots I'm going to are special trout waters. And that means that you can't keep them unless they're really big. There you have it. You've heard of fish in a barrel? This is fish in a bucket. I want to just show how beautiful these guys are. They've got this yellow on them, kind of a New Mexico yellow. It's just, it really pops. I've never seen them with quite that coloration. I'm gonna make this be my main meal of the day, and then I've got this plan hatched to go back. My bag limit on these guys is 20. Go back, catch another 15, put them in my crawdad trap as a live well in the river so that I can keep them fresh till tomorrow. And then I'm going to fillet them up in the morning before I can get to somewhere with ice. Maybe catch a few more in the morning because my bag limit's 40. I really wanted a meal that could stick to my ribs today, so I went for fried taters, Cajun style, and a fork in the dirt. Oh my gosh, those are good. Sitting here on a bluff overlooking a deep hole on the river, and that snake came up from over behind me here. He must have been real close to 6 foot long. That was a monster snake, and I have no idea what kind it was. My guess is it kind of looked like a bull snake, but I've never seen a bull snake in the water. I guess I've never seen a bull snake in the wild, but it's crazy because from up here you can see down into the water real well, and I've seen 2 or 3 decent sized catfish in this hole. And that makes me really excited. Makes me want to go catch some perch up and bring them over here and drop them down. And be a whole lot easier to clean a couple big catfish than it would to clean all those little perch. That makes a limit. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here at Mills Canyon. And just like most desert creatures this time of day, I'm hiding out in the shade. Between the wind and the sun, it can dehydrate you quick out here. And with me really only having about 1/3 of a gallon of drinking water left, besides what I've got in my shower bag over there, decided that as much as I'd like to be out climbing around in the rocks, I got enough time to just kind of hang out, do some things here at camp, like sharpen up my knife. Probably gonna work out my payment scheme and just basically try to take it easy during the afternoon. It's probably about 90 degrees. This trip's so cool, man. It's like not only is it a memorial to my grandfather, but it's also allowing me to see all different parts of the country, to see if there's somewhere that I'd like to move to. I mean, how do you know where you want to be unless you've experienced it all? It's so great to be free. Freedom is a drug. Freedom's a hell of a drug. Especially when you can come to sweet spots like Mills Canyon and catch fish in the middle of the desert. Hey, I think I might have a catfish on. It's been running with it. Just gonna let him keep running for a second. Taking him. Oh! I should have let him go with it. He had it. I don't like how I've got this thing hooked. He'd taken it way out to the middle. We'll have another one.